Legend of Yufei, Chapter 36.
Got Yu Fei, the famous general.
And He Yuan King allied with the rebels, a powerful figure in his own right.
Right. And Yu Fei's initial approach, it's quite interesting. He doesn't just charge in. He sees Yuan King as a good fellow, basically.
A worthy opponent. There's a level of respect, isn't there?
Yeah, seems like it. He tries to persuade him to literally abandon darkness and turn to light. It's an offer of peace, really.
An appeal to honor, perhaps, more than just a demand for surrender.
But Yuan King, he's having none of it. Defiantly introduces his silver hammers as his, house generals.
Yeah, quite the statement.
And then sets this condition, well, if you can actually capture me, then I'll surrender.
Wow. So it's not just a refusal to direct challenge, a personal gauntlet thrown down.
Totally. And what follows is this epic duel. The sources describe it so vividly.
Like mythical beasts clashing, incredible imagery.
It goes on for hours, apparently, until 1 to 3 p.m., no winner.
A complete stalemate. Shows the skill on both sides.
Then Yuan King suggests pausing, resuming tomorrow. And Yu Fei agrees, but with this amazing taunt.
Ah, yes, the let you live one more night line.
Exactly. Was Fei at Bao, or let you live one more night. Come early tomorrow to meet your death. Talk about confidence.
Or calculated arrogance, maybe. What's fascinating here, though, is how much is communicated beyond the weapons. This whole exchange is a psychological chess match. Yuan King's challenge, it's pure pride. He needs to be seen as Yu Fei's equal.
Right. He needs that validation.
And Yu Fei's response. It blends that respect, agreeing to the duel, with this absolute certainty of his own victory in the taunt.
So it raises the question, how does this kind of verbal sparring shape what comes next?
Precisely. How does it influence the actual strategies? It's not just fighting, it's mental warfare from the get-go.
That's a powerful point. Do you see parallels there with, say, modern strategic thinking? Leaders projecting dominance?
Oh, absolutely. It's a kind of information warfare before we even had the term. Manipulating perception, exploiting pride.
Just forecasting their reaction, maybe?
Exactly. Yu Fei uses his own confidence and He Yuan King's wounded pride almost like levers. He's making He Yuan King predictable. He's mapping his enemy's mind.
And Yu Fei doesn't miss a beat. This is where it gets really interesting for me. He doesn't just wait for morning.
No, he anticipates.
Instantly, the moment he's back in camp, he says, tonight, he will raid our camp. Incredible foresight.
It's like he read He Yuan King's mind, fueled by that earlier humiliation and pride.
And his counterplan is incredibly detailed, multi-layered. He has Tang Wai dig Yun pitfalls at the entrance.
Covered with loose earth, right? Classic deception.
Yeah. Then Zhang Xian and Meng Bengji in black uniforms lie in ambush with grappling hooks around the pits.
Setting the trap perfectly.
But here's the critical part, the bit that really stands out. Yu Fei gives this specific order.
Don't harm him.
Exactly. If He Yuan King is captured, do not harm his life. If violated, military law will be applied. He's absolutely clear. Spare this enemy leader.
Which is quite something. We need to circle back to why.
Definitely. And the plan continues. He sends Niu Gao and Dong Xian with troops to ambush the retreat path.
Ah, covering the escape route, too. Smart.
It's Tam's strict order. Capture alive, also not permitted to harm him.
Repeated emphasis on keeping him alive.
And Yu Fei even moves his own main army back, making the camp look deserted, a complete setup.
Lulling him into a false sense of security.
And sure enough, He Ringqing arrives. Second watch, maybe 9:11 p.m., leads 1,000 men, all stealthy.
Mouths gagged, horse bells removed. The works. He thinks he has the element of surprise.
He sees the silent camp, thinks it's an easy target, and charges right in.
Straight into the pitfall.
Horse and rider, straight in. Zhang Xian and Meng Bengji nab him with the hooks.
And the retreating forces.
Intercepted by Niu Gao and Dong Xian, they surrender. Total success for Yu Fei's plan.
Brilliant execution, obviously. But the psychology is key. Yu Fei played on He Yuan King's overconfidence, his need for quick revenge.
Made him totally predictable.
Exactly. But that command, do not harm him. That's the really strategic question, isn't it? Why? It hints at something deeper than just winning this battle.
Right. It's not just mercy, is it? Is there a history of using restraint like that for strategic gain?
Oh, definitely. It's a risky move, but showing magnanimity can, shake an enemy's assumptions. It can demoralize their allies.
And maybe Sow seeds for future loyalty?
Potentially.
Yeah.
By sparing him, maybe Yu Fei is signaling something, not just to He King, but to others watching, about the kind of leader he is.
Okay, so He King is captured, bound, you'd expect, well, consequences.
Or at least groveling.
But no, he's brought before Yu Fei, still stands without kneeling, defiant.
Still blaming his capture on his own greed for glory and Yu Fei's deceitful scheme.
Refuses to submit. His pride is completely intact somehow.
Amazing resilience? Or perhaps just stubbornness?
And Yu Fei's reaction. The sources say he approaches Resley with a smiling face, stands up,
Orders the bonds released.
and then returns everything. His horse, his maces, even his surrendered troops. Gives him his whole fighting force back.
It's genuinely astounding.
Yeah.
Hard to believe, almost.
And then invites him to fight again. You go back, regroup, let's fight again.
Wow. Just wow.
Young King's reaction, predictable maybe. He leaves incredibly angry.
Feels like he's been played, made a fool of.
Exactly. Not grateful at all. He immediately starts plotting revenge, wants to capture Yu Fei himself, just to vent his anger.
So this wasn't just magnanimity, it was a calculated gamble, right?
Seems like it.
By releasing him, Yu Fei guarantees the rematch. But he's returning a warrior whose pride is shattered. He knows how He King will react.
Makes him predictable again.
Utterly. It transforms the situation. Yu Fei is now setting the stage for the next encounter, perfectly anticipating his opponent's moves because he understands his psychology. It's masterful.
Incredible. So Yu Fei's engineered this rematch. He knows Hyunqing is coming back furious. How does he plan the second capture?
After that release, you'd think Hyunqing might be more cautious, but
Yu Fei's already thinking ahead. Immediately he asks General Zhang Yang about a plaigi, a small path.
to the rear of Hyunqing's stronghold, right? Kiwushan.
Exactly. Even if it's narrow and difficult beam across a stream, he's planning an indirect attack, thinking about the terrain.
Moving beyond the direct confrontation. Smart.
Sends Zanyang and others with 3,000 infantry. Each soldier has a sandbag.
To fill the stream crossing.
Yeah, and they're secretly carrying gunpowder. Mission. Attack from the rear, set fire as a signal.
A coordinated rear assault with sabotage built in. Complex.
And he sends out other generals, too. Yang Hu, Ruan Liang, the gang brothers, with secret instructions. Silk letters, the sources say.
So it's a much bigger simultaneous operation. Multiple moving parts.
Meanwhile, as expected, Hyunqing returns, furious, challenges Yu Fei again. Another intense duel.
Playing right into Yu Fei's hands, keeping him occupied.
Lasts till dusk. No winner. Then Yu Fei offers fight all night or wait till tomorrow.
And Hyunqing, driven by pride.
Chooses to fight through the night. He wants immediate revenge. He's walking right into the trap.
Perfect. The distraction is complete.
Then, around the third watch, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., the signal, shouts and fire from Kiwushan.
The rear attack succeeded.
And Yu Fei, twisting the knife, points it out to Hyunqing. Your mountain's on fire. Go save it.
Oh, that's brutal. Psychologically devastating.
Hyunqing flees, but it's too late. His forces are routed. His men confirm Zhang Yang's attack. The fires. The stronghold is lost.
Complete defeat.
Broken. Utterly. He curses Zhang Yang, retreats towards Runan, vowing to get a bigger army for revenge, but, well, his campaign is effectively over.
It's just a masterful display of strategic depth. Yu Fei used Hyunqing's predictability, his pride, his rage against him perfectly.
The duels were just a distraction.
Exactly. While the real blow came from the rear, planned meticulously. It shows how understanding psychology is as vital as understanding terrain or troop numbers.
He engineered the situation so Hyunqing's own character led to his downfall.
Turned his emotions into the weapon that defeated him.
Hyunqing, on the run.
Things are looking pretty bad for him.
Yeah, his forces are probably scattered, Yu Fei's army is right behind him, and bam, he hits a broken bridge. No way forward.
Classic symbolism there. He's cornered.
He really is. The pressure is immense.
And you have to remember, in this period, getting captured as a general, that usually meant, well, the end. Execution, probably public humiliation first.
Not a lot of second chances.
No, definitely not. So the stakes for him are incredibly high. Dire, really.
Okay, so he's trapped. Then suddenly, these small boats appear.
Out of nowhere.
Led by Yang Hu and Ruan Liang, two of Yu Fei's guys. And they call out, inviting him to jointly protect the Sung Dynasty's rivers and mountains.
A direct invitation to switch sides.
You'd think maybe he'd consider it, right? But nope, his reaction is pure flight or fight. Mostly flight.
He sees it as a trap.
Instantly. Turns his horse, bolts, just trying to get away. So he keeps running, desperate, until he gets to the Beilong River.
And déjà vu.
Pretty much. Same problem. No boats in sight, pursuers getting closer.
Capricious building again.
It's so bad, the text says he actually thinks about just turning around and making a final stand. Like, go down fighting.
Which shows his desperation.
Okay.
But this is where Yufei's approach gets interesting.
Right, it shifts. It's not just chase him down anymore.
Exactly. Yufei seems to realize a direct approach isn't working with this guy. So he switches tactics. It becomes less about force, more about deception.
A psychological game.
You could say that. Almost theatrical.
And just then, like magic, some fishing boats appear in a little harbor nearby.
Convenient. Too convenient, maybe.
Yongqing is past caring, I think.
Yeah.
He yells out to the fisherman, tells him exactly who he is. Grand Marshal Huangqing of Kiwu Mountain.
Yeah.
And promises a big reward if they get him across.
Putting it all out there. Total desperation.
So these fishermen, they agree, but then comes the trick.
Here we go.
Say, okay, but those hammers you've got.
Apparently, Hyunking's famous weapons were these huge, heavy hammers.
His signature weapon, yeah. They say those need to go on a different boat. Our boat can't handle you, your horse, and those massive things.
Plausible deniability.
Yongqing needing to escape, he actually agrees. Gets off his horse, lets them put his hammers on this other boat.
And right there, that's tactically brilliant. It's not just about taking his weapons away physically.
No, what else?
It's symbolic. Those hammers are part of his identity, his strength as a warrior. Separating him from them makes him vulnerable, not just physically, but mentally too.
Stripping away his power symbols. I see.
It weakens his resolve before they even lay a hand on him. It's clever.
Okay, so the hammers are on the brothers' boat. And what happens next? Surprise, surprise.
Let me guess, the boat drifts away.
You got it. Starts drifting off. The main fisherman, Gleng Ming-chu, we find out later, puts on this whole act. Oh no, my brother. He's a gambler. He must have run off with the hammers thinking they're silver.
That's quite a story.
Yongqing's getting frustrated now, offers more money, gold, silk, whatever. But Deng Mingchu just brushes it off.
And that's the tell.
Yeah, that's when Yongqing starts thinking, wait a second. Something's not right here.
The penny drops. And this is where the reveal happens, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gang Ming-chu drops the act completely. I am no fisherman. I'm Gang Ming-chu, Commander-in-Chief. That's my brother, Gang Mingda. We're here under orders from Marshal Yufei himself to capture you.
Wow. Talk about a dramatic moment. The whole trap sprung.
You can just imagine Huangqing's face. Pure fury. He tries to lash out, strike Gang Ming-chu.
Gang Ming-chu's ready.
Oh, yeah. Dives into the river like a pro, but he's not just escaping, he comes back up.
Uh-oh.
Flips Huangqing's boat over, captures him right there in the water, ties him up. Game over.
A very elaborate, well-executed plan.
Deception from start to finish. And now, Huangqing is brought, bound, before the man himself, Yufei. So think about this scene. The captured rebel general, tied up, facing the victorious commander. What would you normally expect?
Like we said, humiliation, maybe a quick trial, then execution. That's the standard playbook.
Right. But Yufei, he throws the playbook out the window.
Completely. It's shocking. He gets off his horse immediately.
Orders his men to untie Huangqing.
And then, this is the kicker, he apologizes. He actually says, I am guilty.
Guilty for capturing his enemy.
It's stunning, isn't it? Okay. It completely flips the power dynamic you'd expect. He's showing respect, almost deference to his captured foe.
But Huangqing isn't buying it. Not yet, anyway. He's still defiant. Says something like, forget the tricks. Kill me if you want. I'm never submitting.
Still got that warrior pride. He expects death or defiance.
But Yufei's next move is even more unbelievable.
Okay, what now?
He orders his men to give Huangqing his horse back. And his hammers.
Gives him back his weapons. After all that trouble capturing him.
Gets better. He tells him, go on, get out of here. Go find your army, get ready. We'll fight again properly.
He lets him go, armed, to fight him again. That seems insane from a military perspective.
Right. It's completely counterintuitive.
It's more than just mercy. This is a massive gamble. Or maybe it's a calculated psychological blow. He's challenging Huangqing's entire worldview.
His own generals must have been freaking out.
Oh, absolutely. The text says they were bewildered. Like, Marshal, what are you doing? You let him go twice. He's going to come back and fight us.
It seems like madness. So what was Yufei's reasoning?
This is where we see his deep strategic thinking. He compares it to Zhuge.
The famous strategist from the Three Kingdoms period.
Exactly. Zhuge famously captured and released his rival Meng Huo 7 times.
7 times? Why?
To win his heart. To make sure Meng Huo's surrender, when it finally came, was genuine and lasting. Not just forced submission, but true loyalty.
Ah, okay. So Yu Fei isn't just trying to defeat Huang King in battle.
No, he's aiming higher. He wants to fundamentally change him, to turn a powerful enemy into a committed ally. He's playing the long game.
A victory of the spirit, not just the sword.
Precisely. It's about building a lasting peace, not just winning the current war.
So Huang King is released again. Horse, hammers, everything. How's he feeling now?
Utterly conflicted. The text describes him feeling deep shame being caught by tricks, but also anger, confusion, and maybe even a flicker of something else because of Yu Fei's magnanimity.
He's totally lost. Feels like there's no road left to take. Even thinks about suicide.
Which shows how profoundly Yu Fei's actions have shaken him. His whole reality, his code of honor, it's all been turned upside down.
He's been mentally defeated by kindness.
In a way, yes. Yu Fei created this environment where resistance felt pointless, almost wrong. It wasn't just one act of mercy, it was sustained, unexpected decency that broke through his defenses.
And just when he's at rock bottom, thinking it's over, another Song general shows up, Tong Huai.
Sent by Yu Fei.
Yep. Specifically told to send him off. They even arranged a boat for him to cross the river this time.
So not just go away, but here's some help to go away safely.
Another layer of that strategic compassion.
And it doesn't stop there, does it?
Nope. Then comes Niu Gao, another general, and he's brought food, wine, vegetables.
Seriously, a meal delivery service from the enemy commander.
Pretty much. Niu Gao says, Marshal Yu figured you must be tired and hungry after. Well, everything.
Wow. That's moving beyond military strategy entirely. That's just basic human kindness, acknowledging his suffering.
And that's the breaking point. Huang King just weeps.
Finally breaks down.
Yeah. He declares, Yu Fei treats me like this. I have no choice. I have to surrender.
And crucially, it's his choice. It's voluntary. It comes from the heart.
Not forced by chains or threats.
Exactly. This is the true victory Yu Fei was aiming for. Not just capturing a body, but winning a mind. Persuasion, not coercion. That kind of loyalty is far stronger.
So he goes back, kneels before Yu Fei, acknowledges his crimes, his past rebellion.
A complete turnaround.
And Yu Fei, he doesn't gloat. He doesn't lecture.
No, his response is just as important here.
He helps Huang King up, praises him, calls him a wise minister, choosing the right path, encourages him to serve the Song, help rescue the captured emperors, win lasting fame.
He's offering him not just forgiveness, but a future. A purpose, restoring his honor, essentially.
And then he fully integrates him, gives him new armor, puts him back in command of his own Qiwu Mountain troops.
Trusts him with his former soldiers. That's huge.
Throws a banquet for him. And get this, they become sworn brothers.
From mortal enemy to sworn brother, that's an incredible arc. Shows Yu Fei's absolute commitment to this strategy of transformation.
So what's the immediate result of all this?
Peace. The threat Huang King represented is gone. Neutralized not by destruction, but by conversion.
Yu Fei sends a report to the emperor. The troops get some rest. Seems like a pretty efficient outcome.
Incredibly efficient. Think about the resources saved, the lives not lost in further battles. Yu Fei's long-game thinking paid off immediately.
But of course, the story doesn't end there. Trouble's always brewing.
Always another challenge.
A new imperial edict arrives. Yu Fei's next mission. Deal with a water bandit, Yang Mo, down in Dongting Lake.
A different kind of enemy, different terrain.
And this is where we see the practical benefit of winning over Huang King, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is key. Some other rebels, Cao Chang and Cao Liang, have fled. Yu Fei needs to figure out where they went. Who does he turn to?
His new ally, Huang King.
Exactly. And Huang King, knowing these guys, immediately gives Yu Fei invaluable intel. He says they're timid.
Knows their character.
Right, and predicts they'll likely run to relatives hiding out in known bandit areas, like Hunan or Yuzhang.
That's intel Yu Fei couldn't have gotten easily otherwise. Saves time, scouting, maybe it prevents chasing false leads.
Precisely. It's a direct strategic advantage gained through that earlier compassion.
Yeah.
Huang King isn't just a symbol of peace. He's now an active intelligence asset.
It immediately proves the worth of the conversion.
Without a doubt.
So based on this, Yu Fei decides Cao Chang isn't the main threat. He redirects the whole army towards Hunan to take on the bigger problem, Yang Mo.
A clear, decisive move. informed by good intelligence from his former enemy.
General Yufei, name people back then absolutely associated with skill and loyalty. He's kind of stuck, tied up far away in a region called Huguang.
Right. Strategically speaking, he's a genius, but out of the picture for this crucial moment.
Exactly. And meanwhile, the Song capital, Jinling, modern Nanjing, it's just sitting there, vulnerable. Its defenses look shaky.
And the Jin forces, led by their really formidable General Wuzhu, they don't just see an opportunity. It looks more like an open door.
Okay, so let's shift perspective. Look at the Jin side. What they pull off here is, well, frankly, it's a masterclass in military thinking. General Wuzhu, he's itching to take Jinling.
Absolutely. He calls in his top military advisor, a guy named Hami-Chi.
And Hami-Chi doesn't just say, let's charge. No, he cooks up something much more clever. He calls it the five-pronged invasion of the Central Plains. The plan itself is, it's really quite something. First, a key diversion. Prince Da gets sent off with, 100,000 troops toward Huguang.
But here's the genius part. He's not actually meant to fight Yufei head-on.
Right. The strategy is spelled out almost like a saying. He guards east, I attack west. He defends south, I go north. It's pure misdirection.
The entire goal is just to pin Yufei down. Keep him busy, stop him from rushing back to save Jinling. He's effectively taken off the board without a major battle.
So while Yufei, probably the song's best hope, is completely tied up by this feint, Hami-Chi unleashes the rest of the plan.
Yeah, 4 other Jin princes, Prince Prince San, Prince Wu, and another brother. They each take another 100,000 troops.
And they hit multiple places at once. Shandong, Shaanxi, Jiangxi critical song areas. Imagine the panic that causes, spreading the defenders thin.
Exactly, chaos, forcing the Song command to scatter their already limited resources.
And then, with the Song defenses stretched, distracted, probably panicking, General Wuzhu himself leads the main charge.
And it's massive. 200,000 troops heading straight for Jinling.
It's like a boxer setting up with jabs to confuse the opponent, then landing this massive direct punch right to the chin. The capital itself.
You know, what makes Hami-Chi's plan so effective isn't just the troop movements, it's the psychological impact. It's classic misdirection, using overwhelming force in multiple places to just create chaos.
Exploiting their weaknesses rather than just a straight fight.
Precisely. You create several big threats, and you neutralize their best general simultaneously. It forces the Song into making impossible choices.
The goal, as the source says, is to make the Song response too late in 4 directions and 8 sides.
Yeah, essentially beat them before the main battle for Jinling even gets going. It's as much psychological warfare as anything else.
And the source says, wow, they don't just give us the plan, they paint this terrifying picture of the Jin advance. You can almost feel it.
Oh, the descriptions are intense. Killer aura fills the sky, black sun, yellow sand.
Roads are endless with soldiers, purple frontier wind raging. It's visceral stuff.
And the human cost comes through, too. Men crying, women weeping, villages are plundered.
There's even poetry in the source. Horse hooves crush the Central Plains, taking Jinling easily as if reaching into a bag. It just conveys this sense of unstoppable force and utter dread.
It's not just about taking land. It's about breaking their spirit, you know?
Okay, but while the Jin are executing this, frankly, brilliant plan inside Jinling, things are falling apart in a completely different, tragic way.
Right. You'd assume the capital wasn't totally undefended.
And it wasn't. There was a commander, Zhang Lushu, and by all accounts, this guy was absolutely loyal. Steadfast.
He was trying his best, it sounds like, even as the situation got worse.
He kept sending messages, petitions, basically begging Kang Wang, the Song Emperor, to come back to the capital.
Beyonjing, hoping to rally the troops, make a plan, maybe inspire some resistance.
Exactly. But Kang Wang, the sources are pretty stark here. He refused. He stayed in his palace, feasting.
Feasting, with the enemy practically at the gates.
Yeah, with his concubine, Zhang Myron, apparently just oblivious, or maybe indifferent. It's hard to say which is worse, really. So imagine the weight on Zhang Lushu. He hears about Wuzu's massive 5-pronged attack. He knows Yufei is stuck, can't help.
And his emperor is ignoring the danger. The pressure must have been immense.
It broke him. Completely. The sources say he had a relapse of an old illness, and then this detail. He spit over a dew of blood.
A dew. That's a huge amount, like 10 liters, basically a fatal hemorrhage.
Exactly. It sounds like he just burst from the stress and despair. His last words were apparently, kill the invaders across the river. And then he died.
Wow. A loyal man.
Yeah.
Just consumed by it all.
Yeah, and the source includes this really poignant poem about him. A loyal heart piercing the sun, exhausted its sincerity, aiming for restoration and revival.
Died before the mission was achieved, ever bringing tears to heroes' collars. That line, died before the mission was achieved, just sums up the tragedy, doesn't it? And Zhang Lushu's death, right then, it's more than personal tragedy. It's like the final collapse of morale. It shows how leadership, or the lack of it, can just crush everything.
His despair becomes contagious in a way.
I think so. It signals that even total loyalty might be pointless if the person at top doesn't care. It creates this vacuum, and vacuums tend to get filled, often not in good ways.
It really underscores how much a leader's actions, or inaction, can shape events before a single arrow flies. And speaking of that vacuum, this leads us right to the next part, the betrayal, the really big one.
Ah, Duchang.
Yes. As the Jin army gets close to the Yangtze River, which is like the last major natural defense for Jinling, the commander there, Duchang, he makes a decision.
A cold, hard calculation, it sounds like.
Totally. He figures, okay, Zhang Lishu's is dead, Yufei is nowhere near, the emperor seems useless, there's no way we can win this.
So survival instinct kicks in, or something else.
Well, Wuzhu had dangled a pretty tempting prize. Kingly titles for any Song officials who switched sides.
Ah, self-interest. Power and wealth over loyalty.
Seems like it. Duchang immediately runs up the surrender flags, goes out to meet Wuzhu, and basically just hands over the Yangtze River defense line.
Unbelievable. Just gives away the key strategic point.
And gets his reward on the spot. Wuzhu makes him the Yangtze River king.
Duchang's betrayal is fascinating because it shows how internal weakness can be just as deadly as an external enemy.
Right, if there's no strong leadership holding things together.
Then individual self-interest takes over. It's not just a military surrender. It's like the whole system imploding from the inside. That internal rot just cripples any defense.
And the promise of reward from the enemy just fuels it. And it gets worse. The betrayal goes deeper. Duchang's son, Duji.
Oh, no.
He commanded the Fengtai Gate, a really crucial gate into Jinling City itself.
Don't tell me.
Yep. Following his father's lead, he just opens the gates, swings them wide for the Jin army to march right in. No fight needed.
Father and son. That's just devastating. Sealing the city's fate together.
And all this time, Kang Wang is still in the palace, still feasting with Zhang Myron.
The contrast is just jarring, isn't it? Total chaos outside, obliviousness inside.
Until the very last second. Suddenly, ministers burst in, shouting, panics.
The enemy is here, kind of thing.
Exactly. Lord, it's over. Duchang surrendered the river. His son opened Fengtai Gate. The Jin army is in the city. You have to run.
Reality finally hits him.
Hard. The source says Kang Wang was greatly startled and lost his color. No kidding. He fled instantly.
Didn't even have time to pack, I imagine.
Probably not. Scrambled out through Tungji Gate with just 6 loyal ministers. Li Gang, Wang Yuan, Zhao Ding, Xia Bing, Tian Sishong, Du Quan. 7 of them in total.
A tiny group escaping the fall of their own capital.
So Wuzhu, the Jin general, rides in through the conveniently opened Fengtai Gate, straight to the main palace, no resistance.
And what does he find?
He finds Zhang Myron, the concubine. She's kneeling there.
Trying to save herself, maybe?
Looks like it. She identifies herself, says she's Kang Wang's concubine, and tells Wuzhu that the emperor and his ministers got away 1 hour earlier, offering up information. But Wuzhu, his reaction is completely unexpected and brutal.
He doesn't reward her.
No, he gets furious. He apparently starts talking about Confucian principles, saying husband and wife are the first of the 5 cardinal relationships.
The core social bonds, right? Ruler-subject, father-son, husband-wife.
Exactly. And he says to her, you who are so lacking in integrity and gratitude, without any trace of kindness or righteousness, what use are you?
Wow. So he's judging her morality.
Fiercely. And then he personally takes an axe and executes her, hacking her into 2 halves, the source says.
Good grief. That's shocking and incredibly violent from the conqueror himself. That moment is just so jarringly contradictory, isn't it? Wuzhu is punishing her for perceived disloyalty to her husband, invoking these high moral principles.
Well, he just conquered the city primarily thanks to the massive disloyalty of Duchang and his son.
Exactly. The very men he rewarded. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What does this say about morality in war? Is it just hypocrisy?
Or maybe a twisted kind of pragmatism. Loyalty is good when it serves me, bad when it doesn't. Even if the principle is the same, it's deeply unsettling.
It really is. It suggests that values can become incredibly flexible or perhaps weaponized, depending on the situation and who benefits. A really dark insight.
So after this act of justice, Wuzhu immediately orders his men to chase Kang Wang.
And Guess who he puts in charge of the pursuit?
You guessed it. The traitor, Du Cheng, leading the hunt for the emperor he just betrayed.
And the final bitter irony.
Along the way, people saw Du Cheng riding hard, and they actually helped him, pointing out the way Kang Wang went. They thought he was still loyal, trying to escort his emperor to safety.
Unaware he was leading the enemy right to him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just tragic. The ultimate misunderstanding built on betrayal. King Kang, utterly exposed, on the run. After a grueling day and night, they get to this place called Zhurong. And one minister, Li Gang, gives advice that really tells you something about their situation.
What's that?
He basically says, Your Majesty, you need to get rid of those dragon robes. Now.
Wow. The symbol of his power.
Right. The very clothes that mark him as king are now a huge liability. He has to swap them for common clothes, just trying to avoid Jin Wuzhu's scouts,
Just trying to disappear.
From Zhurong, there's no rest. They keep fleeing, heading towards Haiyan, which is this small county in Pingjiang Prefecture.
And what's striking here is this sharp contrast. You have the king running for his life, and then the reception they get in Haiyan.
Yeah, what happens there?
The county magistrate, a guy named Lu Jin, he hears the king's arrived. And instead of, maybe worrying about his own neck.
Which would be understandable.
Totally. He immediately goes out to greet the king, brings him into the public hall. It's this brief, almost surreal moment of safety.
A tiny bit of breathing room.
But the bigger picture, according to another minister, Wang Yuan, is still incredibly bleak. Jin Wuzhu's forces, they're already near Qintang.
Which is dangerously close to Linhan they were trying to reach.
Perilously close. And maybe even worse, all the military governors have apparently just abandoned their posts, left their troops.
So there's just nobody defending the roads?
It seems like it. A massive vacuum of protection across the whole area. It's not just a tactical nightmare. It's a real crisis of loyalty.
Okay, so things look grim. And this is where Magistrate Lu Jin makes this, incredibly bold suggestion.
Right. Instead of pushing on towards Linen, which seems undefended,
He tells King Kang, stay here in Haiyan.
he admits, look, it's a small place, but they do have a few hundred soldiers.
Better than nothing, I guess.
But here's the crucial part. He says there's a local hermit hero. The source calls him an Engjishi living nearby.
A hermit hero?
Yeah. Someone who could protect the king if only he'd summon him. Imagine the king desperate, suddenly hearing this. A tiny sliver of hope.
It immediately makes you think, who is this guy?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of hero is living quietly in retirement while the kingdom falls apart? All right, so the big question, who's the hermit hero? Who does Lu Jin name?
He whispers the name to the king, Huyanzu.
Huyanzuo. Okay, for anyone who knows Chinese martial legends, that name hits hard.
Definitely. He's introduced as a former 5-tiger general, a Wumjiang from the legendary Liangshan Marsh.
The water margin heroes.
Exactly. Renowned for his Wanfu Budongzi, the courage of 10,000 men. This isn't just some skilled fighter. He's a figure straight out of the epics. His name alone could potentially turn things around.
But wait, wasn't there some doubt?
Ah, yes. The minister, Wang Yuan, he voices a very practical concern. He acknowledges the legend, sure, but then he asks, basically, isn't he really old now? Can he still fight?
That brings it down to earth, doesn't it?
It really does. It injects this layer of doubt, realism. It forces us and the king to wonder, can a legend live up to the hype, especially in his old age?
Such a critical point. It grounds the whole thing. But King Kang, he's desperate. He agrees to summon him.
And when Huyanzuo arrives, the sources give us this surprisingly human moment from the king.
What does he do?
Before talking strategy, before anything else, he asks Huyanzuo if he's eaten. Make sure the old general gets fed.
That's touching, actually, given the circumstances.
It is. A small detail, but it says a lot about the king's anxiety, maybe his respect for the sacrifice Huyanzuo is making.
So the general, who came right away when summoned, sits down and eats right there with the king. A moment of quiet before...
Okay.
before everything breaks loose.
Because that quiet doesn't last long at all.
No sooner has Huyanzu finished his meal, the alarm goes off, piercing the silence in Haiyan.
Jin Wuzhu's forces, they're at the city gate.
The time for talking is over. It's straight into action.
And this is where Huyanzu's experience really shows. He's calm, strategic, doesn't just rush out.
What's his advice?
He tells King Kang, basically, watch from the walls. And he lays out a very stark plan.
Okay.
If I win, he says, Your Majesty waits here for reinforcements. If I lose, if I can't win, then you must leave immediately. Go to Linen, then push on to Huguang, find General Yufei.
Wow. That's putting it all on the line.
Yeah.
He's basically saying, my fight determines the next step for the entire dynasty's survival.
Precisely. The stakes couldn't be higher for this upcoming fight.
So the king agrees. They go up onto the city walls, watching, hearts probably pounding, and down below, the immediate threat. A figure identified as Duchang.
And he's arrogant. Called himself the Changjing Wang, king of the Yangtze.
King of the Yanks, okay.
And he shouts this chilling demand. Hand over the incompetent ruler, the Hunjun, or else, he says, the city gets sacked. Not even chickens and dogs left. That terrifying phrase, Jeken Buliu, total destruction.
What a villainous entrance. Pure contempt.
But he barely gets the words out.
Because Huyanzuo bursts out from the gates.
And he instantly recognizes Duchang, not just as an enemy, but as the traitor, the Zhanze, the one who's Xian Changjiang who surrendered the Yangtze.
Oh, so there's history there. Personal anger?
Palpable fury. Huyanzuo lets out this legendary roar, charges and unleashes his whips. 2 strikes.
Does Duchang stand a chance?
He parries the first, but the second whip strike aimed right at his waist. Too fast, too powerful. Duchang just falls off his horse.
Just like that.
His soldiers scatter. Huyanzuo doesn't even chase them. He just takes Duchang's head and rides back into the city. Job done.
Swift.
Yeah.
Brutal. Effective.
And hugely significant. This isn't just winning a skirmish. Duchang was a symbol of betrayal.
Right. Taking his head is a powerful message.
Absolutely. It's a massive morale boost for the king and his terrified court. King Kang is described as being overjoyed, promising Huyanzuo huge rewards if they ever get back to the capital.
And they display the head.
They mount Duchang's head on the city wall, a stark warning to anyone else thinking of treason or attacking Haiyan. Defiance will be met with force.
But, as we know, defeating one traitorous general isn't the end of it. The real test is still coming.
Right. The news about Duchang reaches Jin Wuzhu himself, and he's furious.
So he comes personally.
He personally leads his forces to Haiyan's gates. Now, it's not just an enemy commander, it's the supreme commander, the architect of all their suffering.
How does King Kang react when he sees him?
It's deeply emotional. The sources say he's weeping up there on the wall. He points Jin Wuzhu out as the one who captured the 2 emperors, the Ersheng.
His father and brother?
Exactly. And he declares this Bugong Daitianzi Chao, an irreconcilable enmity, a blood feud. They cannot exist under the same sky.
This just got incredibly personal for the king.
It transforms the whole conflict right then and there.
And Huyanzuo, what does he do?
Steps up again, valor unwavering, gets ready for battle, reminds the king one last time about the escape plan if things go wrong.
Then he rides out to face Jin Wuzhu himself.
Yeah, and Jin Wuzhu, seeing him, is actually impressed.
Impressed by the old general.
The sources say Jin Wuzhu notes his appearance hefa tongyan, wafeng cranium white hair and youthful face, yet an awe-inspiring demeanor, a striking image.
So he recognizes he's facing someone formidable.
Definitely. He even tries to tempt Huyanzuo, offers him kingship, wealth, praises the Liangshan heroes. It's almost like a nod of respect, trying to win him over.
A fascinating tactic, trying to recruit the enemy legend.
But Huyanzuo, he's having none of it. His response is pure fury.
What does he say?
He declares his pride. Pride in having fought for Songjiang Songdunming against the Liao dynasty back in the day.
Invoking his Liangshan past.
And then he just dismisses Jin Wuzhu with total contempt, calls him a Fanu, a barbarian slave.
Wow, no holding back.
Absolutely not. It just highlights his fierce loyalty, his unshakable character. He's not just a fighter, he's a symbol of Song honor, standing against the invaders.
Okay, so the insults are exchanged, the lines are drawn. This is it, the epic duel.
It truly is. Huyanzu and Jin Wuzhu clash, and they fight hard.
How long does it go on?
The sources say over 30 rounds initially. Sun Shiyuhei, that's a long, brutal fight.
And it doesn't end there.
No. They keep going for over 10 more rounds, Shiyuhei. This isn't some quick exchange. It's a serious, drawn-out battle of skill, strength, endurance.
Imagine the tension on the walls watching this.
Unbearable, probably. And get this. During the fight, Jin Wuzhu himself has this internal thought.
What's he thinking?
He recognizes Huyanzuo's incredible skill. He thinks, basically, if this guy were younger, I'd be no match for him. Ta wo shanyanshi bushi tadaduishu.
Wow. Even the enemy commander acknowledges his greatness.
It speaks volumes, doesn't it? About Huyanzuo's enduring legend, the sheer ability he still had even then, acknowledging the quality of his opponent.
Even legends age. Time catches up.
Tragically, yes. Huiyanzuo, clearly weakened by this long, intense fight, starts to retreat. He backs onto an old suspension bridge at Diakyo.
And this is where things go wrong.
Horribly wrong. Fate intervenes in the cruelest way. The sources are specific. The bridge was Nyanshan Rejingo, Busengwan De, Mutu Ing Singalanla.
Meaning?
Old and decayed, never replaced, its wood already rotten, just neglect.
Oh no.
As Huiyanzu gallops onto it, the rotten wood just snaps. His horse's front legs plunge through. He's thrown down, helpless.
Just like that. Because of a rotten bridge.
Just like that. And Jin Wuzhu, always the opportunist, sees his chance, rides forward, swings his axe.
And strikes the fatal blow.
Yes. It's such a stark reminder, isn't it? The most epic fights can turn on something so mundane, not strategy, not valor, but just rotten wood.
A really cruel twist of fate.
Yeah.
Undercuts the whole heroic narrative in a way.
And it feels very real, very historical in its randomness compared to maybe a purely legendary ending. The immediate reaction on the walls, utter terror.
King Kang and the minister see him fall.
They witness it all. Their last hope is gone. Shattered. They don't hesitate. Immediately mount their horses, get out of the city, escaping along the seawall. On the run again. Panic.
But what about Jin Wuzhu? He just killed this legend. Does he gloat?
Here's where it gets surprising. He actually reins in his horse and expresses regret.
Regret after killing him.
Yes. He says something like, "It was my fault. He had such great renown on Liangshan. It's a pity he fell by my hand." He acknowledges Huiyanzuo's Hegging waiming his great renown.
So respect for the fallen enemy.
Genuine respect, it seems. He even orders his soldiers to collect the body respectfully, give it a temporary burial, and he promises a grander funeral later, once he gets the world.
That's unexpected. Jin Wuzhu, the barbarian slave, showing honor.
It really challenges that simple hero-villain picture, doesn't it? It suggests that even in brutal warfare, maybe these codes of martial honor, respect for a truly great warrior, can cross enemy lines.
A complex nuance you don't always get in history stories.
Exactly. It shows that humanity, even respect, can exist on all sides, even amidst terrible conflict. Jin Wuzhu then enters Haiyan.
Does he sack the city like Du Chong threatened?
No! He orders his troops not to harm the civilians. Then he continues his pursuit of King Kang.
And King Kang's fate.
Our source material leaves it there, uncertain. The king is fleeing, the pursuer is still coming. We're left wondering what happens next to the dynasty.